No. Close your eyes. Clap whenever. Oh, shit. One more time.
All right, your turn. Ready?
Oh! That was good. That was very good. There we go.
All right.
Keep that in.
Keep that in. Honestly, I might. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I'm your host, Bret, back with Riley.
Hoorah!
Yeah.
Yes!
Episode 91.
91.
We're getting too close to the 100th
Nine
episode.
Nine more.
Yeah, we'll be...
In live stream.
Honestly?
Why not?
Live stream? I'm down.
Yep.
We could do... How about this? We could set this one up as the live stream Q&A.
That'd be cool.
And then maybe have guests come on. So, like, we could maybe live stream for an hour, just us, and then we could have, like, Freddie and Kelvin come over. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we got to figure something like that out. We got this. All right. So, we got a couple topics that's been happening. We kind of stayed out of it for a while.
We did.
Kendrick and Drake. I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention to it for a while.
No, you weren't.
I really wasn't.
Literally, the first time you listened to it was...
A week after, I think.
Wait.
Roughly.
Today's Tuesday.
A little over a week.
3 days ago is when you listened to it.
Shit, I did. But
yeah,
I knew of the beef, and I heard people talk about it, obviously, because it had been everywhere on the internet. And I kind of knew why, but wasn't 100% sure. It is insane what's happened. And I knew that, and I heard that there was controversy between them years ago. Like, they've never liked each other that much.
Nope.
And I honestly didn't realize initially that after hearing that the beef had started, that this all originated from first person shooter mode, and them just saying that they're the big three, and then Kendrick saying, "Nah, it's just me."
Yep.
And I was like, "That's how it started," and then it just. Honestly, Drake probably could have left it at that, and nothing would have happened. But
who was the other third?
Buried.
Who's the third one?
J. Cole.
Yeah,
J. Cole's up there though.
He was smart to just stand back.
Oh yeah, and like what he made one thing, and 3 days later after that song, he literally like at a concert was like, "I love Kendrick. I ain't a part of this." Like
Who
whatever.
said that?
J. Cole. It was 3 days
really?
after he initially posted his like diss, I guess, or that he did that. It was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He wasn't here very long, and it was a good thing he wasn't.
Yeah, he stepped out.
But I think he also respects Kendrick.
Oh yeah.
Where I think Drake already didn't like him, so
Yeah.
he was like, "I'm gonna keep going." And it got so crazy. Like even, so I listened to all of it yesterday in chronological order just to see
I did.
how it came out.
Okay, it's been more than a week. It's been like at least 2. But I listened to it like a week ago.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
Yeah. Even Euphoria, the first one that Kendrick dropped, I was like, damn. Like, in general, the song, the beat, everything.
It's fire, but you would
magnificent.
not think it's a diss. Like, most of those songs, like, it's just like 3 sentences through the whole song that is actually like
the original, at first, and then
the
when
old
Drake
one,
came
older
out with
yes,
one,
yep,
and actually went in because he did 2 back-to-back, and then one was basically actually going at him,
mm-hmm.
and then he did Euphoria, and it was like basically just saying, I don't like you. Like, it's just, and he kind of left it kind of light of being like, I don't like how you talk, don't like how you walk, don't think you should say the N-word. And that was like some of the first things that came out of the original, like, first one from Kendrick. And then Drake came back again, and then Kendrick doubled down and posted 2 back to back, and Not Like Us finished it. Like
literally Drake is just, I guess he did release the song after, but
yeah, I haven't listened to it.
never
I don't know if
listened to
anybody
it.
has.
I didn't even know it came out.
But it was so good. It really is, because even the one before Not Like Us was really good, and he went in. But I was listening to some people being like, the thing is Kendrick, like, hip hop's in his blood. He came up in Compton. He worked with Dre. Like, he started young. He was making music when he was 15, being like one of the youngest people to be signed by a label in that area at that time, and getting in to studios, working with major artists, or at least being there and witnessing
He's
it
so
at
talented.
such a young age.
He was so talented. I mean, still is.
Oh yeah,
Back then, oh my gosh.
Oh, I love old Kendrick stuff too. Like he's never not good. Like, he really isn't.
I mean, he doesn't post much, but He's just every time he does post, it's a banger.
Like, I know saying this, some people might hate me, but I love Eminem. But honestly, like the new song Houdini, not that great. Like it's like he's been good consistently for the most part, but then he's also had some where it's like, I feel like Kendrick.
That's how I feel. Some people might hate me for this, but that's how I feel about Drake.
Yeah.
Like, Drake has some really amazing bangers, and then there's some songs that it's just like, maybe it's just me, I just don't like him that much.
I think part of it with Drake, though, is why he's so big, is because he also releases music so often.
He does.
So he has so much in his discography that the big ones just outweigh the crappy songs so much that half the time people don't remember them, and they just remember those bangers. But no, like even the, I can't remember the name, but the one, Family Ties was Drake, and then the one after that from Kendrick, I'm blanking. The one before Not Like Us, but he went in on that. I had seen some reactions of people like listening to some of it, and like him talking about how he has pedophiles on his label and he pays like all this stuff. It was insane. And then talking about like, like watch your daughters, keep them away, like all this stuff.
Did you so have you seen the music video?
Yes.
For Not Like Us? I
watched it today.
The end too. He literally has his family and they're just all dancing.
It's awesome. Well, and then also the music video for Not Like Us is so crazy because there's so much like little hidden details, like little stuff, and it's just crazy. Like basically, he just was basically showing black culture in America and being like, you don't know this shit, so you're not a part of this.
I have something you probably did not even think about. So when he started doing push-ups.
Yep, for his song push-ups.
How many push-ups did he did?
I didn't count it, but I had a feeling it was 50.
50?
Yeah.
He did 17.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't count them. Why? Oh. That would make sense. I thought he was going to crack out 50 because of in the song Push-Ups, he talked about him dropping Give Me 50.
No, he did 17.
That's funny. That's funny. Between that and then also Drake dissed his wife about being like, oh, you're all about like black culture, your wife's mixed, like whatever. And then he shows his family. He's like, you don't understand what a family is. Like, you don't spend time with your son. Like, this is my fiance.
They're
literally
all just like.
Oh yeah, she's like, I'm a part of LA culture. She's crip walking. She's dancing. Like she's in it. Like she's a part of the culture. Drake obviously isn't. Like even when he was in LA, like he was removed from everything. Like he never grew up with that stuff.
Exactly.
Not like.
Where did he grow up actually?
Canada. He's Canadian. I don't know where. I think in Ontario. I think that's where he's from.
I knew it was Canada.
Yeah. And so it's insane. And then obviously Not Like Us drops, and it's just so good. Like it's the change up and the flow and the.
It's like one of those songs you literally can listen to all day. You won't get tired.
No, I mean, and that's the thing with all the different disses that Kendrick did. It showed his variety and variation of how well he's good at hip hop. It doesn't matter the type of like rhythm, anything. He's there. He's got the flow. He's got the lyricism. He's in it, and it was just intense. And then just the things he did say in Not Like Us was just basically how he uses a bunch of rappers to try making himself better and make money and go to Atlanta. And you don't understand black culture. You use all these people to get insight to it and use it for your music, and you're not that.
He was like literally pointing out what's his
like
name?
Being with Drake or not Drake, sorry, Drake, like working with Future, 21 Savage.
Yeah, he said he went somewhere just to get a bag.
Atlanta,
like that.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
because like he named all those people because a lot of those big hip hop artists are also from Atlanta. Yeah. So Future, I think Lil Baby, 21 Savage, which I don't think he's from there, but he lived there. I don't think he's from there initially, but all this stuff. He said you use 21 to get fake street cred, like all sorts of stuff. Yeah. He's like, you're not a. What do you say? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That was so.
Man, like
he's so good.
He is, and then just like the thing is compared to the old hip hop beef that we didn't grow up with between like Tupac and Biggie, this time it's not between the East Coast West Coast. It's called basically America against Canada, buddy. You don't understand the West Coast. You're not in hip hop. This is where that culture arises from, and you think you're a part of it. And it's like, no, you're a pop artist. Like, stay out.
It's insane. I forget how somebody worded this, but it was just like, I forget how they worded it. Honestly, I can't really say it. But like, it's like when quiet people actually stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean,
Kendrick kind of sits on the back burner. He does his own thing.
Yeah.
Like,
well, like when they actually are grouped together, like, you know, you're done for.
Oh yeah, like he awakened the giant. It was just like, nah, this ain't happening. Like, he made a comment and then Kendrick was like, nope, you ain't.
Does this put Kendrick up top?
For now, yeah. Like I as hip hop overall, I don't think so, because it changes depending on generation. So like our generation will probably see him as being one of the best hip hop artists ever. Yeah. But like millennials, probably more Jay-Z. People before that would have been like Tupac. So it changes. It always does. But yeah, like at this point, man, it was so good. It really was. And it's such a jam, and just the video, everything. It was filmed so well. I love all the little different.
He just doesn't
details.
care. Like literally posting on the 4th.
Yep.
Music video the very next day.
I think he knew that posting it on the 4th would be good, because everybody would be at 4th of July parties, and it would just get.
Well, the thing is also, like, he just doesn't care. Usually people put that to the side like the next weekend just so like they can ramp up the song, but not a single word.
Nope.
He just drops a song.
Yeah. No.
Like, it's crazy.
And I heard that at a 4th of July party somewhere in the Hamptons that Drake, like, they were playing the song, had the music video on, and Drake just was sitting back there just watching, just couldn't do anything, and everybody's like, jamming. Oh, fuck. Like, buddy, I'm sorry. Like, there's not much you can do. I hope it doesn't cause like violence. Like, I mean, obviously we don't need anything like Tupac and.
It shouldn't
Biggie,
be.
But
it shouldn't.
I do know. Who was it? I almost said Roddy Ricch. It wasn't Roddy Ricch. Rick. Oh, dang it. I'm blanking on who it was. Damn. Somebody went to, I think it was in Ontario, and they were.
Just keep rolling.
So somebody went to Ontario and was doing a performance, and they played Not Like Us. Concert went to shit. People jumped on stage, really? Attacked security guards.
Oh, I think I saw that. A little clip of that.
Who was it though? I'm blanking on who it was. Oh man,
shoot.
Yeah, I know.
I just saw one very.
And I was like, damn. Canadians got pissed.
Who was it?
I know. Man. The thing is I can picture the guy. I can't think of his name.
What does he look like?
Bigger dude, named after a drug dealer. Like, he actually, his rap name is actually based off of a real person, and he was just on Rogan a handful of weeks ago, and he was like a crazy large drug dealer back in the day, and went to prison. Like, he was selling shit to the feds.
I'm spacing.
Yeah, but it was, oh man, it was so good.
Okay, how big this song is getting is actually crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, you and me talked before. Yeah. Before we got on, but literally, so USA has a basketball team. And they go to the Olympics, right? Played against Canada, in Canada. Song played as soon as we won.
Yep.
Not like us. Whoa.
Nah.
We went to Australia. That song gets played again.
But the thing is, in Australia, everybody was probably jamming too.
Yes.
Yeah, they were like, yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's not USA putting it on. It's Canada turned it on because we're playing.
Whoever's in charge knew what they were doing.
Like, literally, we played in Australia.
Yeah.
It's not like Australia came here.
Yeah.
They're the ones that played it.
The thing is Drake can't do any performances on the West Coast. He can't go to Cali right now.
Oh my god!
Like, he can't do a performance.
He can't do a performance for a little bit. He has to wait.
No, not in America.
No.
It just won't go well. I mean, oh man, it was such amazing. It was so crazy to like hear people talking about this for like the past 3-4 weeks, and it's like the last song. Like we said, Drake apparently released a song. I haven't heard it. I don't feel like a lot of people have afterwards, but it's like not like us was like drop the mic. Like it's done.
Drake actually did come back with some heat. I don't know.
I don't think it was very good.
Really?
Like as far as I'm aware, like for what he even said is people knew that it released, but even I can't remember the name, but even I think it was Rolling Stones basically said like I think Kendrick won. Like he won this. Like there's no denying it, buddy. Like he was already great and he just proved himself. Like you can't because it's not even necessarily what he said in the song that just adds to it, but just in those songs against Drake, he also just showed how good he was. Like he proved it and was like.
Well, the thing is, he had different flows every verse.
Yeah, every verse, every song, different type of beats, taking different inspirations from past stuff and making it his own, and he just went all in.
Crazy.
I would love to hear like some other like old school hip hop artists of like what they thought of the whole situation. Like I would love to hear like Jay-Z's input, Eminem, just like who obviously are probably just all listening and watching this just to see like what did they think about this situation. And I think most people would all agree that I mean it was Kendrick, far none. Like but
there's wait, never mind.
What?
I don't know what I was gonna say. Sorry.
I mean, the thing is Drake had already been more of a pop artist anyways. So, I mean, I think he just got put in that category for sure. I heard that even his next album, he's changing to like house party music. Somebody said.
Oh my gosh.
And some people were like, obviously he can't do hip hop. So for him, this is also kind of a business move in the sense of like nobody wants to hear his shit anymore. So maybe he can kind of go into another category, do well, and still end up with possibly a song of the summer of some form, but can't be in that category.
Oh, Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
It's going to be interesting.
I mean, summer's coming to an end, so you better hurry it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, jeez. It's insane. I'm going to be jamming to that song for weeks. Easy.
I've been jamming to it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to...
Definitely on my rotation.
Like I said, I think I've listened to it like 7 times in the past 2 days. Easy. You just listen to it. It's such a jam. It really is. Is like you and me talked beforehand. Not only is it a diss, but at the same time, the song itself is just good to listen to. Like you could just listen to it, and then at the same time, it's a diss track in a way. And it's just it's impressive.
Yeah.
Speaking of, this is something else we don't normally talk about.
Big news.
Yeah. Politics.
Yeah.
We never really get into politics.
Yeah. Well,
so
someone nearly died.
Well, before we get to that, you watched the debates, correct?
Did you watch the debate too?
Yeah. I ended up watching it. I watched it late. I'm late to shit, but
I watched it the same day. No, the day after.
Yeah. I watched it last week, and the thing is it's not even at this point if I would say that like on a political level that Biden's a bad president. It's just it's obvious he shouldn't be in office. Like it really is. And I think the debates kind of open the eyes to a lot of people. Would be like, oh, it's even worse than we thought.
It's just
I heard there's rumors now that they think that Biden might actually be diagnosed with like Parkinson's disease or something.
I wanna doubt it. Did you see like the last like big press conference he had like a few days ago?
No, I did not.
I forget where it was and who he was with, but like he started just saying some nonsense. Like he was like so and I just like and I fucked your wife.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Something totally out of the blue. But
Okay.
he was mumbling like most of his words like he usually does.
Well, and then that's the thing is I heard people talking like you saw the difference within the first 10 minutes of the debates, and it was like one of the first big questions, and Biden just kind of rambled, and then even Trump was like, what? I don't know what he just said, but
no, he said, I don't know what he said, but
I don't think he knows.
And I believe he doesn't even know what he said either. Like, it was crazy. He called him Brandon.
He did. I caught that. I was like, oh, I love how. The thing is I also hate that they put like timers involved, because I feel like part of that was to help. I mean, it was for both sides, where they wouldn't allow Trump to necessarily ramble, but it also wouldn't allow Biden to ramble either and then make himself look worse. Because I remember there was one thing, I can't remember what the question was, but they cut him off and they're like, all right, your minute's up. Basically cut his mic. And
yeah,
he kept
it was
going.
funny.
Yeah,
but they want to do that to Trump. Did you notice that? Like, they would ask him a question and Trump kind of went against that. He was like, okay, no, let me just go back to this point real quick. And he went for like probably a minute.
Yeah.
And they just let him keep going.
There's a few times they pushed it, but he used a lot of his time to keep going on.
I mean, it was good points. Good points.
On Biden's point of being like, all right, if he's saying this stuff, let me rebuttal.
Exactly.
Which is normally how a debate should go. Yeah. Like, I get you ask certain questions, but in all reality, they tried to turn it into like a news conference thing, which sucked because you couldn't actually get information necessarily out of either of them, because you're giving them such small stints of time to be able to answer questions. Mm-hmm. And I know, I think technically, even if you do like competitive debating in like high school or college, there are time restraints, but they're normally not that short.
Yeah. And
they allow for rebuttals and everything a lot more.
What I hated was there's no audience.
Yeah.
Did you know Trump wanted an audience?
Yeah.
He was pushing for it, but Biden didn't.
There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason there wasn't an audience. And I even noticed that all comments were shut off from the YouTube video, so you couldn't even comment, because it would have been bad. And the thing is I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily say that out of any political candidate that's possible that Trump is the solution, because I mean, but he's the one that's running. Like, that's what it is. And the thing is I even listened to Nancy Pelosi talk the other day, and at this point, it seems like the Democratic Party is kind of pushing against Biden now, of being like, I don't think we can let him run. Like, not even though I think Biden wants to, and part of it is his like ego still, but it seems like the political party itself is like, all right, at this point, if Biden runs, we're not winning. Like, it's reasonably apparent where they're like, all right, I don't think if he goes up against Trump, it's not going to happen. We need to possibly put somebody else in that seat, because just to give them a chance of winning. And kind of sucks because it pushes it so last minute. And then my thing is, if they decide to take him out of the Democratic
who are they going to do,
nominee, I don't know.
Are they going to do Vice?
Maybe, but I don't think she would win either.
I'd want to think so either.
So I really don't know.
I can't even do that either. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know who they'd pick. Like there's a few people that they could choose from. I technically at the moment my brain is just blanking on some of the names, but I think they realize now that if Biden goes, there's probably no chance of them winning. The thing is, if Biden doesn't win this time, he definitely ain't trying to get back in for try doing his second term next. Like, it ain't happening. If he's this bad now, they ain't gonna allow it in 4 years. And the thing is, he's just too old. Like, it's not even his political ideology or what he's doing. It's just, dude, he's older than my grandparents, my oldest grandparents. Mm-hmm. I don't think they should be politicians either. Like,
it's just
part of it's even like his health and well-being. Like, he shouldn't be there. You're forcing somebody into a position because they hold the seat for you and someone else is pulling the strings.
It's just sad to watch.
It's really sad. Is.
And
it makes the United States as a whole look bad when the guy that's supposed to represent your country the most is at this point a laughingstock. And I guess Trump was in a certain way when he was in office, and like the shit he would say on Twitter and certain things, like, it always got a lot of attention and controversy.
He did have a mouth, but like,
But it was different. It wasn't like out of sadness.
Did you listen
to
Did you listen to the podcast with him on Impulsive?
Yes, yeah, Impulsive and
like,
stuff. But
I did see videos when he was in offense, like just like being friends with other world
it's very
leaders.
Important. Even
and it is very important.
It is, and people give him shit for talking to Kim Jong Un or Putin, but
yeah,
I mean, I listened to a podcast where, and it was RFK Jr., and he was talking about how if my uncle at the time didn't reach out to, I'm blanking who the Russian president was at the time, like at one point he was like, we got to be able to communicate, because if we can't, I don't know what they're thinking, and all he's hearing is the same shit, and this is in the 60s, and it wasn't as bad, is only seeing media, what the warmongers are pushing, even in Russia, being like, oh yeah, we might start a nuclear war, whatever. That at one point, JFK was secretly sending letters through a Russian spy to communicate back and forth with him, and like his family knew, like they were in on it. Like he'd come over, and RFK was like, yeah, we knew him. Like RFK Jr. was like, yeah, he came over to the house all the time. Like we knew he was a spy. We thought it was so cool as a kid. Like, but he was the one that would help send letters back and forth between the two. And he's like, if it wasn't for my uncle trying to build that relationship, I think he was the one that put in the phone to be able to call and all that stuff. Then that if that didn't happen, we could have probably ended up in a nuclear war then. And so it's like,
it's crazy.
Even if it's technically your enemy, it's still good to have relations with those people, because at the same time, I don't think anybody wants a nuclear war, because at this point we know that it's nothing. Like it's over. If something like that happens, there's no winner.
If
there's
one bomb goes off,
yeah,
everybody's dead.
And what makes it so depressing is I listened to a podcast last week where this journalist just wrote a book about it, and she talked to like some of the head security people in the United States of like getting information, what we have, the amount of stuff we have, and she's like, within I think it was 70 minutes after initial launch, or 5 billion people would be dead, and then we would have a decade plus of nuclear winter and famine and everything else. It's like
there goes another billion.
Yeah, it would be very, very bad, and like you can't necessarily intercept. Like they think that like that's part of the talks is like, oh well, we could intercept them and take them out. I guess the rockets that they actually have made in the U.S. and this is maybe just knowledge, because like, you know, like there's definitely some stuff that's gonna stay secret, but she's like, out of the arsenal that we know Russia has, we have like 48 interceptor rockets. Literally, if something launches, it's gonna be like 1,000 nuclear warheads. You're not stopping it. Plus, I guess the time frame of where you can actually stop a ballistic missile like that, there's only a small window, and it's when it's in the very, very upper atmosphere, and it's like a 5-minute window to possibly get it. And it's like after it starts coming down, you can't stop it, because gravity takes over and it brings it at like 14,000 miles per hour, and it's done. Like
I didn't want to think about that.
Oh yeah, gosh. It was honestly like it was a tense podcast to listen to, but at the same time, it's like people should know this stuff. Like they should, because maybe it'll cause people to actually reach out to people and be like, all right, like this isn't what we got to do. Like we should, what's the word? Not demilitarize, but we should cut back. Like, and there for a while, like at one point, I think she said the U.S. was popping out how many nuclear warheads a day back in in the middle of the Cold War, and we used to have more. And at one point, we had the deal with Russia where we both started disarming a lot of our shit. We still have a lot, but like because of that, we actually took out many nuclear warheads on both sides that they disarmed. And then even like in the debates when Trump was like, hey, before my even inauguration, I'll have Ukraine fixed. It's like,
yeah.
The thing is I like his, I like his ego behind it a little bit, because it's like at least a president.
I like that's where
initiative.
He's looking at, because that's exactly where we should be looking at. Mm-hmm. A lot of our soldiers are dying over there, a lot.
Yeah, well, not ours, but others.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Allies.
Yeah. Our money, everything. Yeah. And even like when they were talking about the tax cuts, what he said is true. If you tax too high, yes, it brings money into the country from these major businesses, but also he's not wrong. It does lose the nation money because if you tax too high, they're not going to want to expand their businesses locally because it'll be cheaper elsewhere. They'll go to places where taxes are lower, wages are lower, and then none of that money and profit ends up here. And so, yeah, tax cuts for the rich and for businesses make a big impact on the U.S. economy. It's not rocket science to completely understand.
Yeah, I'm surprised Trump didn't go over like the oil rig.
Either. Oh, true. Well, it never got brought up.
Yeah, I was thinking like that would, because that's one of the main things.
Yeah,
him Biden closing that. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like that he had, at least in it, he talked about like specific things he wanted to try getting done. Where I feel like even with Biden's side of the debates, there wasn't anything particular being like, this is what we're working on, this is what we're trying to do. Trump came into it being like, this is it. Like, this is something I'm gonna start on immediately. That's very big and important that we got to figure out.
Yeah,
and he showed initiative. Yeah. Where
Biden's just like, we needed to be doing this,
or we are doing this. This is what we've been working on. We're fixing inflation. We're whatever. And it's like, just saying it. It'd be different if it would make me feel different if even in that situation he talked about more specific ways of like, hey, this is how we are trying to help inflation and fight inflation and make these changes. But he didn't even do that. It was so broad. And then also the thing, most of his rebuttals with Trump was just, he's lying. I can't believe you can believe any of the things he's saying. What he's saying is all false.
He's like, a liar. That man right there, he needs to be in jail. He's a liar. Remember that part?
Yeah. Did you also hear him talk about malarkey? He said what he just said was a bunch of malarkey. And I was like, if our presidents say malarkey non-funny, like not...
Me, I'm just like, what is malarkey? I was like, I haven't heard this.
I was like, oh man, he just said that. That just shows his age even worse.
I literally had to look it up.
Really?
Yes.
You'd never heard that before?
No.
I mean, I've heard of it, and I probably said it in jest, but yeah,
I've never heard that.
Not from a president on a national debate.
It's just, it's sad. It's just sad.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know how well RFK Jr. will actually do if he's in it. I don't know if at this point Biden will be in it, because the thing is even Pelosi talked in that speech she made in comments was kind of like, well, we'll wait until, because I didn't realize that, I think it was this week, basically all our NATO allies are in DC for a conference of some form. And basically how she was saying it is like, well, we got a lot of people here right now, so we don't want to do it yet. And even people that are in the news and the podcast I was listening to, Breaking Points, they're so good. Individual journalists, individual news reporters, like they do their own thing. It's not one-sided. They look at things in a lot more, not a modest way, that's not the right way to put it, but non-biased opinion as best as they can. And they're like, even the Democrat at the table was like, yeah, it kind of sounds like they're waiting to stick the knife in and finish him and get him out, because they're like, it's not going to work. And they realize, as a business almost, the Democratic Party wanting to win and keep power, they realize if we have him run, we probably aren't. And so they're trying to find a solution of being like, how could we possibly still keep our seat in power with the Democratic Party, and who are we going to put in, and what's their game plan? Where at this point, it's like a Republican Party, it's they're fine. Like,
yeah.
And then like we started to get into something else that happened this week. Trump's assassination attempt.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. One of the first. Whoa. I don't even know when there was the last assassination attempt. None in, I don't think, our lifetime.
Was the last one JFK?
No. There's been other attempts after that, but yeah, that one was crazy.
When is the last one then?
Was it Nixon? I think it was Nixon. Would have been in the 80s. No one died, but got shot at. Yeah, that was crazy. One, it wasn't even. I love how it's just in a small town too, and then this kid, because I think I heard he's 22, and also terrible aim.
So, I was watching a video on this, and maybe it wasn't his bad aim, actually. So, while Trump is giving this speech, of course he's looking all the way around. And then, like, okay, shooter's over there.
Yep.
Out of nowhere, he looks this way, and that's when he shoots. Was this way. So if he was standing right here, that would have been...
it was close calls. It was close calls for all.
It would have been, like, right here.
The first shot would have been the most accurate. Yeah. And then the second or third was the one that grazed him.
Yeah. So, you said you don't really know much, like, what happened.
At least not about the guy.
So, basically, the controversy is people think it was planned. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
So, a lot of people think it was planned because the way Trump got up and was like, fight, fight, fight. But me...
I feel like you would have done that anyways.
I saw that coming. But me, who in the fuck wants a planned gunshot towards their head?
Yeah.
One little fuck up and you're done for.
And not only that, someone else got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it hit bystanders.
So there was snipers, of course, all on these. And these snipers were dialed in on that guy before he shot. But they can't shoot somebody unless they shoot first.
Yeah. Did they shoot him then? Did they kill him?
So right after he shot, there was like 8 or 9 just sniper shots. He's dead. He got laid out.
Ooh, I'm not surprised.
And then the video went over like that guy's background.
Yeah.
Apparently he was anti-Trump, anti-Republican, all of this just out of the blue stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And out of the red, shall I say. I don't even think he was on the blue side either.
Yeah.
Like he was like literally just did not care. And like literally he went to college and like they finally started doing some digging and like just on his Facebook he was like really just anti stuff and everything. So
yeah, it was a lot. It really was. I was
sad.
When somebody told me, I was like, no. I was like, that did not just happen today. And like, yeah, I was like, I'm looking that up when I get home. And I did. And I watched it. Did something like that happen?
It's sad that somebody that young literally had their thought in that head.
Well, yeah. Between that and then it's sad that that's where people are. And it's just the thing is I feel like people look at conservative people as being the hateful, aggressive types. And it's like right now a lot of things have kind of switched between back in the day. Like if you're Democratic, you were anti-war, you were all this, you were down for protests, nonviolence. It's changed. Like I mean, at this point you got the Democrats that are like, we should fund Ukraine, we should send stuff here, we should do this, we should fight in Gaza, whatever. It's just a lot. And then violent protests and all this stuff. And I think everybody should have the right to protest, but at the same time, some of these kids are just doing dumb shit. Like they really are. And they're not looking at things, I feel like, as objectively as they can. It's just because it's a this side or that. It's not, you know, there's a lot more to it. And I don't feel like half the time people look into it or actually think about it, especially kids our age. Like it sucks because it also gives us such a bad reputation, like our generation and things when it comes down to this.
Like it's just crazy.
It really is. I even saw a video today where somebody was like, "Hey, like I don't think I would fit in." Like they took an African American guy and it was an interview, and they're like, "I don't think I'd fit in over on like the MAGA side. I feel like they're gonna be racist. They're gonna hate me, whatever." Like, let's test it. Let's go over here because I guess there was a rally, something, and they brought him over, and they're like, "Dude, if you wanted to be on our side," he's like, "Fuck yeah, come over." Like, gave him a hug, like all this stuff. Like, come in, like you're good. Fucking dude, roll with us. Come in with us. I don't give a shit. They're like, all right, well, let's see how it works out for me. And this was the reporter, and she got called a Nazi, all sorts of stuff, like screamed in their face, got violent, and it's just like, see that you see why conservatives at this point are getting so pissed off about some of it, because the funny thing is if conservatives were the violent ones, it would be bad. We're the ones that conservatives are the ones that own most of the guns in the United States too, and so it's just like it's just ridiculous stuff. It really is.
Literally, yeah. One of the most controversy comments I saw right under a post like that is like, and yet they still want people to have guns. I was like, what?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, literally, it makes no sense. Like, yeah, if you have guns, people are gonna do some dumb shit. Like, that's people for you.
Oh yeah, that happens no matter what.
Yeah, it's so. Do you listen to Tom McDonald at all?
Yeah. You saw his song?
Did you?
I was gonna bring it up too. I can't. What is it called?
You missed.
Yeah. Yeah, he posted that a day.
What? Okay. What?
It was a day later, I think.
What day? Was this? Was this a Thursday?
I think this happened Saturday.
Okay, maybe.
So he posted it Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, he did. He did. He posted really fast, and oh my god.
I do have to give props to a lot of politicians on both sides being like, this was way too far. Even Biden came out and was like, all right,
yeah,
what, like, no, like, this is ridiculous. This doesn't matter. You can hate somebody's views, but this is not how you handle things at all. Yeah. And so I do got to give props to everybody to just being like, yeah, no, this is too fucking far. Like, it's different if you want to protest outside of a Trump rally, you want to do whatever, you're not in support of him, but to do something like this, nope.
No, it's not okay.
Crossing the line.
Well, you could tell that guy did cross the line.
Oh yeah, and he got hit hard. Literally. Yeah, that song by him was pretty good. I need to actually listen to it again and actually pay attention to some of the lyrics a little more because I only listened to it once.
It was good thing the left can't
aim something.
Good thing the right can't. Something.
Is it violent? Like, it's something along those lines, and you're like, be glad the right is the violent. I need to listen to like along those lines, and it's like, it's kind of true.
I don't know if Tom is actually on which side.
I don't know. I mean, obviously his stuff's more conservative.
I know he actually is Canadian.
Is he really?
He was born in Canada.
Oh.
But he actually came over and got his
citizenship.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
That's why a lot of people don't really like him doing those kind of songs because they're like, you're not American. But he's been here basically his whole life.
Yeah. And also that's a part of America is you don't got to be born here to come here and preach like American values. You don't have to do that. Like this is supposed to be the land of the free, home of the brave, and for specific reasons. And it's supposed to be here for everybody. Like the thing is even when it comes to immigration, which that became a big topic at the debates and everything, is I'm not against immigration at all. Like, fucking come through. Like, if you want to be a valued member of our society and come in and work and everything, like, cool. But at the same time, we need to have border security in the sense of we're just not letting anyone in because that's the problem.
I'm all for immigrants, but do it legally, please.
And even then, at least make it where if people are coming through and we do allow people to come through, background checks, all this stuff. Exactly. Like, you can't just let anybody walk through. That's the problem because, like Trump said, you do get. I think he did try to blow a little of it out of proportion, but he's not wrong. Like, they've caught terrorists coming through. Mm-hmm. Who knows how many they haven't caught? Even on the side of when it comes to like more major stuff of being like, why is there so many Chinese people, like young Chinese military age men coming through? That's happening. Like you said, it's not just like Mexicans or Hispanics from Latin America. Anybody is coming through Mexico because they know that the border's open and they can get in. So it's not even just that. It's not a racial thing between specific type of people, whatever.
I'm not racist.
No,
I know you're not either.
No, I just hate that it gets so polarized like that because it's not that. It's safety for a country that I worry about when it comes to things like that. And that's what
a president should be do.
Yes.
They're the leader.
You should value your citizens' lives and their safety. And if doing something like that is making our country more risky, it's a problem.
Oh, by the way, so I don't know if you caught this, but they were talking about like men in service that have died under their names, Biden brought that up first. He was like, way more people have died under his name and nobody has died under mine.
Yeah.
Guess what? There was like 20 Marines that died like a few weeks ago.
That's true, but then not only that, we haven't been in a war technically since he's been in office.
And Biden literally said nobody.
Yeah, I noticed that.
That pissed me off.
And my thing is too is when he says that, I'm like, buddy, this is the one time in a while we don't actually have troops on the ground necessarily in another country. We're not occupying Afghanistan anymore. We pulled out, which didn't go great. And yeah, of course, you're probably going to have at this point in your candidacy the least amount of fatalities is because we're not in an active war zone right now. Makes sense.
And
the thing is that wasn't necessarily up to you. This was something that Trump initiated. It was. Doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you are. He was the one that initiated for us to pull out of Afghanistan. Biden was the one to finish it. That's how it went. This all started months before Biden got in. Yeah. But months, probably a year before Biden got in. And so it's not like it was all because of Biden that they pulled out. And even when it happened, it was like, oh, it was horrific to watch. It was terrible to hear about. It made me sad. But at the same time, I was happy that we were getting out of Afghanistan. I just hated how we did it because we did need it out. We did need out. We didn't need to be. Not the way we did, though. No, not at all. We just didn't. We didn't need to be in a prolonged war where we're occupying a country for 20 fucking years. We were already there. We spent trillions of dollars.
And then we just left everything for them to grab. That's what pissed me off. And then they just used it.
Yeah. It's the thing is you can't, and that's the thing is a lot of people are also now comparing what Putin might be trying to do with Ukraine to how we handled Afghanistan. Is depending on how it is, you can't just sit over and control a place and people not get pissed off that you're there. He'll deal with the same eventually, even if depending on how much land he possibly takes and if the war stops, and let's say he took Ukraine, even if he takes it and it's part of Russia, he will be dealing with the same shit that we dealt with when it came to us being occupied in Afghanistan. It will still happen because the people won't want you to be there. You'll deal with a lot of consequences. People will fight. It's not going to be simple. It's not going to be like, oh, well, I'm in power now, and everybody's like, oh, cool. Well, the war's over. We'll follow you. Like, it's not going to be so simplistic. And so I don't know. It's weird. It's crazy. And even like, I mean, what other big things did they bring up in the debate? Like, immigration was a big one. And then also like how Biden said that he has the highest veteran, what was it? Like, not agreement, but basically had the highest approval rating from veterans out of any president. Right. Like, but you don't. No way.
There's also another thing, but
I know too many vets. I know too many active duty members.
I know. There was another thing that it was Trump and Biden with like another people, like more higher up names, and Biden was saying Trump said something. Yeah. What was that though?
It was something. I think it was.
It was to a general.
Yeah, and how he said like he didn't care or said something about basically saying some disrespectful shit about fallen veterans at a veteran cemetery or something.
Yeah, and then Trump was like, yeah, I would just say something like that out in the ordinary.
I don't think, honestly, any American would. Well, that might be a little far. But at the same time, no. Like, even if Trump...
I don't individually know Trump, but I think Trump can hold himself together if he was going to say something. He would not say that in front of.
Yeah, even if that is what he thought, the likelihood of him saying that in front of a general, and let alone at a place like that, no, I highly doubt it. And the thing is honestly, Trump wasn't, compared to other presidents, he wasn't really a warmonger. He didn't put us into any wars. He wasn't pushing for violence in that sense, and I did like that. Like, the U.S. doesn't. We have enough issues right now in the United States.
The main thing Trump was doing was just the border.
That was and one inflation. Of his big things. Yeah, and
I feel like he was actually doing kind of good at that. But
what, inflation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is another thing. The inflation thing. I don't think Trump can say they had zero inflation. I think that was a little projected. And it's just, could it had been handled better? after Biden got in power. Like, I think no matter what, there was going to be inflation just because of COVID and the situations we dealt with. Like, at first, inflation was on the rise more, I think, because of supply and demand. So things got expensive because it wasn't as cheap to make things and get your hands on it. That was part of it. And then it was after that it became more economic and actually caused the price of anything to rise. And so honestly, if I was voting on a president just based off that, I'm like, yeah, I want lower cost of things, because shit's expensive now. Like, people might not realize it, especially in higher generations, but if you actually look at the statistics, like, our generation's screwed. Like, we really are. The average age of a millennial or our Gen Z purchasing a home is way higher than any other past generations, especially baby boomers, when it comes to retirement, first home buying, like marriage. Dude, all of it's been pushed back because shit's so expensive.
I saw something that's gonna blow your mind today.
Okay.
So our average house in LA, how much?
$1 million.
Like, maybe not in LA, but it was like somewhere around there, and it was like an average, just one story, three bedrooms, two bathrooms.
I saw something like this.
It was like, I forget, it was like 400 something, and he was like, no. And he was like, I heard about real estate in Japan and all this. So we flew to Japan to see the like same amount, bigger space. 120.
Yeah,
like, literally.
There's never been a more time that I've been curious to be like, maybe I should move abroad. Low key, I'm like, I don't know what I would do, but things are so much cheaper at other places. I could have a home right now pretty easily. I could do whatever. Like, I even sent you the post of how Iceland's paying people to come and like guys to come move there because they're like, our population's low. We have a lot of females. We need guys here. We need to populate. We'll pay you money to move here. Literally $5,000 a month. And I'm like, I'm single. Icelandic women are pretty cute. Let's go.
Why are you here?
Like, shit.
Give me three reasons why are you here.
Family. Scared. Those are the two. Because that'd be a big change. But I mean, like, even Japan did something like that, and that's why they were like, oh yeah, they started to implement this, because South Korea and I think Japan did something similar, because they realized, oh yeah, like, our generations are a little rough. We gotta get more people here.
Just move over there for like a year if you're that scared. Dude, $5,000 a month?
Yeah.
How much is that?
That's a lot.
Math.
That's decent. That's $60,000 a year just to live there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $60,000 a year just to live there, let alone the cost of living's probably cheaper.
All you have to do is just get a job.
Yeah.
Maybe a part-time job with that.
Then I'll find a Icelandic wife, and then we'll move back.
Like, heck, you're mine now. Okay.
And that's the bad thing is yeah. The bad thing is I'd be like, I'm sorry guys, I'm down to populate and be here, but at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna live here the rest of my life. I don't know.
Just give me my money.
Yeah, right. It's weird because the thing is it's not like I would like to do something like that, but I don't know. I feel like I'm too close to my family. I feel like it'd be such a big transition. I do love America and I love living here, but at the same time, I'm like, man, some of those sound very tempting. Like,
it is very scary to think about, though.
It is, but at the same time, it'd be interesting because it's like, even if I just wanted to, let's say, move over there and get a work visa or do something and start working there, it probably wouldn't be that bad. And like I said, the cost of living of a lot of those places, probably right now in particular, are cheaper. And so it's like, it's a little tempting to think about.
Exactly.
And like you said, even in Japan and all this stuff, like, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and a guy was like, wait, they want people to breed in Japan?
Wait, really? In Japan?
Yeah, because their population's messed up too. Yeah. And so
how
people aren't having kids. It just isn't happening.
I thought Japan was like, okay.
Yeah, and that is kind of typical for first world countries. But I mean, I heard this a couple years ago where there's places in like Italy where like, yeah, we have like these small towns that are just like going out nowhere. Beautiful area.
Yeah.
We'll pay you to move here just because we need people in the area. Because they don't want to necessarily just abandon these towns everywhere, and it's such scenic places and everything, and they're like, we don't necessarily want people just to all move to the cities. We don't want all this. And the only reason everybody moves is because of opportunity, and it makes sense. Like, that's where it's like, for us, where we live, the good thing is we don't live in a population hub, but we're not far. So it's like we don't necessarily have to move necessarily to possibly change careers and
that's the
get
thing.
opportunity.
Like, we live in the middle of nowhere, but we really don't. Like, we're 2 hours away from Chicago, an hour away from Indy.
Yeah.
We're right below Michigan, like literally.
Yeah.
Just go to the Michigan Lake. That's fun.
I don't know. I just hope that at least whoever gets in, we're on a better trend over the next 4 years, because at least the past 4 have not been great. They really haven't.
No. I don't want to pay more money for gas.
Yeah.
Please.
See, like, that's the thing. Maybe if the podcast blows up, we'll move abroad for a year. Let's go to Iceland. Find me a wife.
Find you a wife. Let's go, dude.
Do the podcast abroad. There we go.
Wait, that's how we find you a wife. We bring a stranger every week.
Single women in Iceland. It becomes a dating podcast.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It is kind of wild. It really is. I'm optimistic. It is tough right now, and I understand why a lot of people are pissed about the economy, about where we are as a nation, and I get it. Yeah. Like, people want to see change. I want to see change.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to see change too. I'm kind of mad.
That's the thing is, I think that's part of it too. Is not only is it scary to go somewhere else or whatever. Like, I would love to do that. Part of it that's nerve-wracking is career opportunity. How am I gonna make money? But two is I also love America. Like, I want to have a family here. I want to live here.
See, that's the thing. It is very scary to go to like a whole different place, and it's just like, just how it's ruled is totally different. Like, think about that.
That's true. I mean, it is.
We don't know anything different.
Yeah,
we really don't.
It's like I do like America. Like, I do. I'm optimistic. I'm a proud American. Like, I'm glad to be born here. I love it. And so for something like that, it's like, I can't deny it is kind of tempting to think about. But at the same time, I love this country. I want to see us succeed.
What's the drinking age?
Probably younger. Probably 18. I mean, yeah. Most places in Europe, it's 18. Yeah. Shit, kids start drinking wine at like 5 in France.
It's crazy.
And guess what? They don't have alcoholism like they do here.
You remember, like, this is so random, but this is kind of, remember like the old show that was like The World's Strictest Parents?
I think so.
They would bring like bad teens and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I just remember just like teens coming from Europe to America and like, wait, we can't drink? They got so pissed and all that.
Well, imagine. I mean, that's true. Like, that's the thing is, like, alcohol definitely isn't great. It isn't overall. Nah. Honestly, it's not great for you. But at the same time, our culture makes it worse. I feel like by the restrictions we put on how strict we are with certain things, that it causes people to fall into addiction with it easier. Like,
it's kind of like that one saying, just like, don't look down, but everybody looks down. It's because it's just like that little mind trick your mind wants to, like, well, if you're gonna tell me no, then I'm gonna do it. Like, what
definitely. That's the thing. We make it so demonized to some extent that when people get the opportunity, they overdo it, and they have a bad relationship with alcohol.
Yeah. Where,
like, in other countries, if you've been around it your whole life, you've drank younger, and that was something I've heard other people talk where it's like, you also gotta realize that some of these places, they might be drinking for the first time more heavily, let's say 15, so they already know their limits, and so by the time they actually can drink at 18, they're not getting fucked up, where at the same time, like, here, it's so restrictive that it's like, no, you can't, or you're kind of looked down upon, or whatever. And then when you do turn 21, you don't actually know what you can handle, and then you get really fucked up. And and you drink a lot and everything. So it makes it a different relationship with it, where I feel like that's the thing. I guess the thing we have different than them is I think we have a better relationship with firearms. They have a better relationship with alcohol. Like for us, when people talk about guns and stuff here, like Indiana, pretty flexible when it comes to that kind of stuff. I've been around guns my entire life. Like obviously I can purchase a gun, but guess what? I shot guns when I was younger, been around them, even though I didn't have one or have one on me or near me all the time.
Or have a license or anything.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Been around it, shot it. I understand it. I understand what it is. I'm not scared of it. It can be a deadly weapon. It can be something to protect yourself. You got to respect it.
Yeah.
If you go to another country and they'd be like, what the fuck? What? Like you have a gun? And it's like, yeah.
You're 16 and you know how to shoot?
Yeah. What's wrong with that? I shot a gun when I was 10. Like what?
Yeah.
I had gun-like items at a young age. Like I had BB guns when I was like 5, running around in the yard, like shooting stuff. Like it's more commonplace here, where if you went to another country, they'd be like, they only see the negative of it. And I feel like it's kind of similar with us with alcohol. I feel like that'd actually be a pretty good comparison. Figured that out right here on the podcast. Didn't think about it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. Profound.
We're going to be millionaires.
From what?
I don't know. You found something out. Put it in a book.
Put it in a book.
Be an author.
I don't know what I'd write about.
You're terrible with grammar, actually.
I am terrible.
Never mind.
I'm terrible.
Don't do that.
Well, you know, they read it before. Before
I know,
published.
but I can just remember. I can just like think, like coming home, like, hey, can you read this? I don't know how to spell these words.
Yeah, I'm not great with that. I'm good with ideas and constructing myself, but putting it on paper sometimes is a struggle for me.
How do you spell fantastic?
Fantastic. FANTA.
No.
What? What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, I was like, wait. I know I'm not
Okay.
that smart.
Yeah.
Okay, FANTA. No, wait. STIC. Fantastic.
Ding, 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 ding.
Don't put me in a spelling bee. I would be so bad at that. Like those, I have to admit, if you ever see that stuff with those kids,
Okay.
I'm like, I don't
One
get it.
more.
Okay.
Lafayette. Like Lafayette, Indiana.
Yeah. LAY.
Nope.
No. Wait. LAF. FE. It's. I know it's fucking. It's weird. I don't know off the top of my head.
LAFF.
FF. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
LAFETT. Wait, no, I messed up.
Oh.
LAFFEYETTE. Lafayette.
I think you got
No,
it.
I see 2 T's at the end.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 2 Y's and 2 T's.
Yeah. No. It's kind of goofy.
2 F's and 2 T's.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a mind fuck for me. Okay, we're done.
You're like
Spelling bee's done.
You're like, maybe we both should never be in spelling bee.
I'm good with grammar, but I can't just like say a word and
No.
then say it. Like if you ask me, then yes.
Oh yeah, like I know words well, but at the same time, if someone would be like, all right, spell this, I'll be like, maybe if I write it down, but even then.
Yeah, but you're like just smarter in other ways. So.
Yeah, my brain can't compute words well. It never has. That's why I was always bad in English.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work great.
We'll give you some Christmas just questions and you nail them. If you guys are confused, just go back to the Christmas episode. I was pissed.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, do something like that, and I got you. Random stuff. I'm in. No, yeah, I definitely do want to go abroad though. More ever. I want to. That's the thing is.
Like, what do you mean?
Eventually, like, just even on travel. Yeah, we should eventually like plan something. Like even if it's a year more away. Like we should at one point be like, hey, like let's actually plan a trip.
Just leave for a year?
No. But like,
oh, I was like
maybe a week and just like go somewhere and just go and just see what happens.
I don't know how my work would feel about that, but
well, yeah, true. See, that's another thing with the U.S. Our relationship with work is so different. It really is.
Every job is different. It's so weird. And I just feel like there should be more not so to say laws, but like just rules you need to follow.
You
know what I mean?
Well, maybe.
Like, let's just say PTO, for instance.
Okay. I'm thinking.
Every business has a different kind of PTO. Like some people maybe get 3 PTOs a year.
Yep.
While others maybe get a week.
Yes.
While others might get 3 weeks. And so on and so on. And yes, I get like that might be other levels that you've worked.
Yeah.
But I feel like there should be like a rule, like just a plain out minimum. The year that you sign, you should get at least some, because if I went to this other business, I would not have got a PTO for like 6 months.
Yeah. It is weird, and especially when you look at other countries, it's like they offer things like that. And I feel like that's where, like, today, if you look at our generation, people are like, oh, they're lazy, they don't want to do whatever. It's like, no, we're just more aware of how people get mistreated and taken advantage of.
I'm just aware that life is short.
Yeah. So
like, let me enjoy.
Yeah, it's like if different businesses offered more time off, more whatever, was more flexible with things, wouldn't mean I would work work less in the sense of like I wouldn't work as hard or I wouldn't do my job, but give me flexibility to actually live life and not live my life here.
Mm-hmm. So this was a while back. I don't know if I'm going to get this straight, but there was this study that they did with this business. Half of them, they got, so to say, so much PTO in a year. Mm-hmm. And then they gave people all the PTO they wanted in a year. The people that wanted, like, all they wanted in PTO got more work done than the people that actually did not have enough PTO.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because these people
I've seen something
just worked
similar
until 5 or 4 or whatever, and they just didn't care. But these people are like, well, this is kind of nice, so let me work really hard this week, take 1 week off, and just repeat that, Yeah. Now, I'm not just saying these people just took a whole year off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, overall, they worked harder.
The thing is most jobs are like, well, we'll just allow you to do good enough to get by. We don't expect, and that's why people are there. They're like, all right, I'm just going to float. Like, that's what it is. Where, I mean, I've seen something similar where they were like, all right, anybody can take as much time off as they wanted. They had better numbers, more, just in general, like as a company, did better, and people didn't take off more than expected. Like, the thing is not necessarily that they took more time off, and I'd say eventually people would for certain occasions, but if you just did it and said, hey, you guys have unlimited vacation, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to take off all the time, because
then they know the business actually cares for them.
Yes. And on top of that, they also realize, all right, this business is going to take care of me. If I take advantage of it too much, I won't have this job anymore. And guess what? I'll end up at another job where I don't have this flexibility. And part of it is, like, somebody's talked, and I think it was a psychologist, like, you're also treating them like adults. Like, like, you get to pick. It's your life. You get to make these decisions. If you need off or you want off, fucking do it. Like,
we understand.
Yeah. And I don't know if that will ever change much. I feel like it'll get better in our lifetime with stuff like that, but at the same time, it's still...
Or it definitely could just get worse.
We're behind compared to a lot of countries when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
Hopefully eventually. Yeah. Hopefully eventually something happens, but...
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like we've had a pretty good podcast. We've been on here for a while.
Sorry for this like loud noise behind us.
Hopefully, honestly, I don't know if the mics will pick it up very well. Good. So hopefully we're lucky.
Good.
But no, we don't normally get into political stuff, but like so much had happened. I feel like we kind of needed to at least discuss it because it's just it's a lot. It really is. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still hopefully optimistic on a lot of things, and
I just want everything to get better overall.
Yeah.
So I know that's very broad.
Yeah, but
it's true.
That's all you can ask for.
I want our oil back.
I want our oil back.
Give us our oil.
Yeah, even if I just had cheaper gas, I'd be happy.
I know. Dude, spending $60.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, well, my car takes $60+ to possibly fill. That's...
And you probably have a bigger tank than me.
Actually, I don't know. How big's your tank?
How many miles do you get when you full?
About 400.
Oh, I thought you said 4. I was like, wait a minute. I think mine's like 398.
Yeah.
Something
yeah,
like
about
that.
4 depending.
Yeah.
So about the same then.
Okay.
But yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. We'll see what happens over the next year. It'll be interesting.
We'll see.
We'll see you guys next year. No.
We're back. Episode
92. Well,
so we're in Alaska right now.
We work at a gold mine and we make a killing, but it is fucking cold out here.
Dude, have you seen like? Okay, we should. I'm just going to talk to you later. This is going to take forever. I keep talking.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this week's podcast. It was fun to talk about Kendrick and Drake. It was fun to talk about the Biden-Trump beef.
Not like us.
Walk it, right? All right. I will see you guys all next week. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share with your friends. I'll see you guys all later.
Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.